Ethics of Our Fathers, chapter 3, section 7. The sages tell us, Ten lo mishalo shata v'shalach shalo. Give him, meaning God, what is his. For you and everything that you have is his, unquote. Nominally, it's teaching us the Jewish view on charity. The Hebrew word charity is tzedakah, which has a total different meaning than charity, the Rebbe points out. Charity means I'm the rich man, the other person is poor, and I'm charitable. I'm nice and I'm sweet. I'm going out of my way to help those less fortunate. Tzedakah, conversely, which is the Hebrew word used for charity, is from the root of tzedek, justice. God actually gave me more money because he entrusts me to help the other. There's a famous story of the great Hasidic master, the Apta Rebbe, who once approached one of his very wealthy Hasidim disciples, and he asked him to write out a big check for a fellow Jew who needed it to marry off his daughter, and it was a very important situation. And the man thought about it, and he looked at the amount that was requested, and he decided to fail the test. And he sent a message to the Rebbe, and he said, Rebbe, I would love to, but it's a bad time, and I can't afford it. P.S. Within weeks and months, he started going down in business till he lost everything. He came crying to the Rebbe and said, Rebbe, you should have warned me. I've been good all these years. Is that my punishment because I didn't come through this time? Had I known, I would have done everything. Why do I deserve? And the Rebbe said it wasn't a punishment at all. He said, let me explain to you. He says, when I come down to earth, said the Apta Rebbe, God gives me bankers to manage the money that I'll need for my mitzvahs and for the things I need to accomplish. However, when those bankers fail to do their job and understand that they're merely bankers to help with the mitzvahs, then the money is taken away and given to someone else. And that's the Jewish view of charity, really tzedakah. Give him that which is his. And then the second half of the verse, for you and all you have is his. And the holy commentator Rohr Jewish points out, it's a dual meaning. Yes, everything I have is God's, but including myself, there is a sense of self. Judaism doesn't negate the sense of self, otherwise what's the value to giving tzedakah? If it's all God, so there's no value to my doing whatsoever. No, God affords each of us a sense of individuality. There's a sense of you, but you and everything you have in the end belongs to God, and you were given the opportunity to do the right thing and give the tzedakah where it needs to be. And this doesn't apply just to money, it applies to time and attention and mitzvahs and Torah study. We are given a sense of individuality and independence and free choice. And by virtue of that, we now have the opportunity to give Hashem what he requests of us, because in the end, it all belongs to him. And the metaphor is given by the Rohr Jewish, the holy commentary. The poor man comes to the rich man's house. It's all the rich man's food and drink, and yet the rich man takes pleasure that the poor man poured him a cup of wine. God takes pleasure by the fact that we, in turn, give that which God gave to us by free choice. Give it to tzedakah, give it whatever it might be, mitzvahs and time for Torah study that we designate. Friends, and for this, we get a tremendous reward in this world and the world to come. I want to conclude with a personal anecdote. My own son, the baby in the family, was a 2-year-old child. He had married siblings at the time. His name is Meir, and obviously he's a little bit of a spoiled, Mizinik. In our home, we simply called him the Meir. So pretty much he got what he wanted. So one night, it's 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and he's crying, and he calls me to his bed, and I say, Meir, was ist geschehen? What happened? He says, Meir will breiti. Meir wants a piece of bread. Breiti in our home is code word for a toasted piece of bread with some healthy margarine. Meir, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, it's the middle of the night, but I'm hungry. Meir is hungrig, he's hungry. So what am I going to do? It's the Meir asking. So lo and behold, I take him into the kitchen, I put up the toast, and he sits down to eat, and he's sitting and enjoying and relaxing as if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Meanwhile, I'm exhausted, it's the middle of the night, he's taking his jolly time. And then he finishes the piece of bread, and what does he say? Tati, Meir will noch breiti. He wants another breiti. And I'm thinking, broch, this is what I need now. But what am I going to do? The Meir's asking. So I put up another piece of bread. And I figured, let me at least enjoy the time watching my son as he's taking his time, as he's enjoying the attention. He's sitting by the head of the table, and I'm sitting next to him, literally like staff. And he's eating piece by piece as if there's nothing going on. And in order to engage him, maybe to teach him something, I turn to him and I say, Meir, can tati haben a shtickl breiti? Can I have a little piece of your toast? And he looks at me from the corner of his eye. He wasn't happy with the request. And he tears off the tiniest crumb that he possibly can maneuver, and he pushes it in my direction. I started to laugh so hard, and I'm thinking to myself, I could have woken up the whole house with my laughter. Mayor, what are you buying? Why are you being stingy? I gave you the bread, I gave you both breads. I gave you the table, the chair, the house you're living in. And then I realized that's the story of us and our Father in heaven. He gives us everything. He gives us the breath, the very breath of life. He gives us our family, our loved ones, our existences, everything we need, our abilities, our talents, our smarts. And then he says, please give me one day a week, Shabbos. Give me 10% of your money for tzedakah. Give me some time in morning and the evening for prayer and Torah study. And sometimes we hesitate. What does he want from me? Thank you for creating me, but could you leave me alone, Tati? Does God need my broiti? Of course not, just like I didn't need mayors. He wants to engage. He wants to teach us. He wants the connection. He wants the love. He wants the attention that any parent wants of a child. A connection of love and attention of love, which ultimately is for the benefit of the child himself. Give him that which is his. For you and yours are his. In the end of the day, all we are the extension and the children of our Father in heaven.
If you like that video, hit the subscribe button and notification bell below for hours of the best Jewish content online.